couldn't finish up, did too much rambling on the last video about LeBron. So let's get into Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Love, if I can throw him in there. Basically, with Carmelo, he has a lot of options on the table where he can go and where he can, where he can go and win. I see really three places Carmelo Anthony can go and where he could be, where he could be to put himself in position to win. Right now, it's not about legacy with Melo. It's about winning. He wants to win. So, and he wants to be able to be mentioned amongst the best guys that the league has to offer. And right now, he's put himself in a position where he can't do it. He's also putting himself in a position to be an NBA journeyman. You don't want to constantly be moving around after 1 or 2 years. But again, we talked about that in the last video with the new collective bargaining agreement. Guys are going to be moving around due to the fact that they don't want any one player staying on one team and being bigger, becoming bigger than the NBA like Michael Jordan did. He became bigger than the NBA, and when he left, the NBA took a hit. So they don't want guys to be larger than life and then, stay on one team. And then when these guys are gone, the NBA is not stretching revenue. They want to be able to keep the revenue boiling around the league. If they can get these guys in these small markets, then they'll be able to sell more packages to the networks on TV, what have you, and get the NBA around the world the way that they intend to. Now, with that being said, let's get back into Melo. Him leaving New York, going to play in LA. It's not a bad deal, but when you consider the fact that you got a ailing Kobe Bryant, he has ailments, and he's going to be on limited minutes next year. That's going to put Melo back into the same position that he's in New York right now, where he has to take up the bulk of the scoring. He doesn't mind scoring. That's what he does. But he, at this point in his career, he wants to be able to not have to do as much and concentrate on his primary position, and that's at small forward. He doesn't want to, he's comfortable playing a power forward because he can blow past all of the guys in the league at power forward. But he's comfortable on the wing, and that's, basically that's where he started at. So he wants to continue playing on the wing. He doesn't mind playing power forward, but he wants to be on the wing where he can score a lot, and he doesn't have to do much. So if you go on a team that's already established in rebounds and defense, then Melo can concentrate on what he does best, and that's scoring. So with that being said, going to Los Angeles is going to put him in a tight spot to where he's going to have to play three positions, and you don't want to put Melo in that situation. I wouldn't say three positions. I would say two, because he'll be going from small forward to power forward. He won't have to run the two. So, you can put him there and create problems, but, again, he's comfortable at those two slots. They're still going to keep Gasol. They're going to have Kobe, and they're going to, look, Los Angeles is a team that has unlimited resources. So they don't have Jerry West the way that they had him before to be able to pick up talent and guys come play and things of that nature. Jerry West was a very, very smart cat, and he was able to get things done, man, that we haven't. Him and Pat Riley, man, these are smart guys. They've been around the league for a long time, and they can get anybody they want, to come and play with them. But they don't have Jerry West anymore, so they would have to just solely rely on legacy and just them being around for a long time as an organization, and having unlimited resources to go and get the job done. But we haven't seen any major deals going on in Los Angeles, so a lot of people are kind of reluctant to go and play there. But again, it's still Los Angeles, and they people are going to go based on the name. So again, what they would have to do is go after somebody like Kevin Love. I think that if Carmelo Anthony is smart, he would play off of what Kevin Love does, and determine whether he wants to go and play with him. That's what I would say. Because you don't really have any other names in this free agency period where, I mean, there's no other real names that you can seriously go play with and win. Yeah, we can talk LeBron, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's not really realistic. It's possible. Anything's probably, we've seen this with Gasol creeping over to Los Angeles in the night. Nobody knew that was going to happen, but like I said, Jerry West is the man. He was able to get it done. And no, I'm not a Laker fan. I'm a New York Knicks and Phoenix Suns fan. So, but I know basketball, and Jerry West he's the man. I mean, look what he's done in Golden State. So that right there speaks for itself. But anyway, Melo would have to, do something like that, play off of Kevin Love and see what Love is going to do, and try to boost his star and put himself in position to be able to win. Now, with that being said, I think he has a few options on the table. He could still stay in New York and have Phil Jackson draw guys to him. Start making his rounds now, get on the phones and start calling these guys that he wants to play with, that he knows is going to be free. Or he could go to Houston, and I think that's a real good spot for him. I initially said that Durant should do it. He should become a free agent and go into Houston and play with his boy James Harden. And that man, that right there would be sick. I mean, it would be crazy, to see him running around with those guys over there. And that they're going to contend for a championship. They won't outright win it, but they will be there multiple years if Durant was to do it. But I think they could do it with Melo too. They would just have to, even with Durant though, they would have to add a good point guard to the mix there, and add a few veterans on that list. Now, this is what happens to guys like this, man. I mean, you got Dwight Howard, who's been to the finals once. You got Harden, who's been to the finals once. So these guys know what it takes to get there, but they don't know what it takes to win. So you got to go after somebody on the roster that has been, or guys that have been in the league for a long time, a vet that's hungry and want to win. So you gotta at least establish your bench with two veterans, or at least get them on the roster. Two veterans at least, that's been around for a while, that's hungry, that hasn't won yet, or that have won. You want to go after somebody like Rajon Rondo to run the point guard in Houston. I think it's a good thing for them to go after that and have somebody that knows about structure and order, and that can get these guys moving around the way that they need to in order to put them in position to score and win multiple games. And I think somebody like that can take Houston over the top. I think he'd actually be a good fit in New York too. I'm just throwing that in there, New York. But anyway, but I think it's a better fit for him in Houston. And I think he'll be able to run around with James Harden, and Melo and Harden to be a good combination on the wing. Now, the only thing that you lack with those two guys is defense. But I think Coach can get it done, man. I mean, he's a legend. He's been around for a long time. He knows defense. And I think that he can get those guys playing some pretty good basketball over there. Coach can do it in Houston, and Mikal, he knows what's up, man. So he could get it done. That's what I'm expecting to see. I don't expect to see any more or any less than that. I would think that the only place he could go would be between Dallas and Houston and New York. He's not going to go to Los Angeles and play, unless Kevin Love is there. Kevin Love can also go to Chicago or Boston. And I don't think Melo wants to keep playing in these cold environments. I think he kind of wants to be where it's warm and where he can still, build his brand and things of that nature. So I think we're looking at Houston or him staying where he is. So, but he's going to play off of Kevin Love if he's a smart man. All right, y'all. Peace. Hampton TV. Yeah.